Yo, 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 your boy JR coming back live for the Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you guys all. This is back with the first Cigar Talk Weekly of 2020. 2020 vision in here tonight. Oldie but goodie. The new world. Okay? Oldie but goodie. Tonight I wanted to talk about a very exciting first few days of the new year. Um, President Trump and America may be at the brink of war. Puerto Rico just had a massive earthquake. And what my cigar of 2019 was. So let's get it started. So just had a good New Year's. Basically, you saw my live on Instagram at Cigar Society of South Florida. Celebrated New Year's in Miami, hometown, at Asher Cigar and Lounge. Pretty good night. Had a little soulful Caribbean themed party, African American themed party. Smoked a lot of cigars. Didn't do no drinking. I don't really touch the liquor. Had a good night. Other than that, pretty good. Christmas was okay, not the best. Had some BS with beef with some family members, so let that go. This is my Christmas present, custom robe with my name on it. I'll tell you about that and then Cigars and BS at a later time. Other than that, well, let's get right down to the good stuff. So America, Trump did an assassination on one of the top generals in Iran, Brother Soleimani. May Allah bless his soul. Killed in an airstrike about 5-6 days ago, I want to say. And basically Iran returned the favor a couple of nights ago. They bombed a U.S. base in Iraq. So basically last night, this morning Trump did a little backpedaling. He didn't really think they were going to bring that fire back to him. But basically overall it shows that, America and its imperialistic ways have still persisted and continue trying to dominate the world, the old manifest destiny thing that, in my opinion, the white man has continued for the past 500-600 years. They may have met their match now. America and Israel and, the fake regime of Saudi Arabia, well, Israel also basically have learned that the Persians, or Iranians as you want to call them, are not Arabs, and they're not going to fall for their imperialistic ways and, their pressures. And, they've been, for years, been trying to put sanctions on Iran. And, Israel and Saudi Arabia have done, a lot of sneaky stuff, which has called Iran to develop groups like Hezbollah and other proxy groups, basically to defend themselves from the imminent or the takeover that they want to have of complete domination of the Muslim world and the Middle East. Iran is a Shia. I follow that particular school of thought of Islam. And basically, they're not the same as the Sunnis. A lot more complex, more willing to go out through martyrdom and willing to fight, as opposed to a lot of the Arab world who basically can be taken over basically by bribes, fake leaders, oil money, stuff like that. But America knows now that they're not playing, and they're really willing to strike back and fight them toe to toe. So it's been a big thing on the news recently, and America now knows that they're not going to be pushed over. And also there's been talks that China, Russia might try to join the side of Iran, but that's all speculation. So basically, everybody is worried that this decade will be the World War III decade. Um, Possibly could. It's been about a little over 100 years since World War One, so it might be time for another World War. We don't really know, but basically, my shout out goes to the ones on the Iranian side. Um, I'm friends with a lot of them here in America, and stand-up people, hard-working people, and truly devout people, and they're not really afraid of the nonsense that America brings in the imperialistic ways and Israel's Zionist ways, and Saudi Arabia's backroom dealings. They're willing to stand up and fight and take on those three oppressors. But, basically, I don't think they say no American soldiers was killed. I don't believe that. I believe there were some casualties. They don't really report the whole news here. They give you partial of it. And but yeah, America got a taste of their own medicine, so they're a little bit worried now, and they know if they continue, it's gonna be real deal. It's gonna be a bloodshed. It's gonna be a battle, and America needs to know that. Other than that, so coincidentally, Iran not only had a mysterious plane crash, but here on this part of the world, Puerto Rico, which has been hammered by natural disasters lately, experienced this, 6.5 earthquake out of the blue. Some people are saying it's the HARP thing, the whole supposed group that can create weather and natural disasters. Nobody really knows. It's just another heartbreaking tale. A lot of people perish in the earthquake. It doesn't take much in those islands. As you can see with a lot of the hurricanes, they destroyed them very quick. So yeah, a lot of people perished, and they're back in the dark, basically. So it was interesting first 7 days of the year, and I think it's gonna be interesting 2020. I feel that with the number 2020, 2020 vision, a lot of interesting things are gonna happen. But yeah, also, national championship games coming up soon. Clemson versus LSU. It's gonna be a monster game, so I'm waiting to see that. Hope it's not on the night. I gotta check. I don't think it's on the night. Yeah, it's gonna be a monster game. I'm leaning toward LSU. I think LSU is a little bit more rugged than Clemson. Clemson is 25-0, but after what I saw LSU do to Oklahoma, they just look very brutal, very hardcore, thuggish. A lot of like the old Miami used to be. So I'm gonna pick LSU in that one. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, just kicking back, watching some Prime Video blaxploitation. Another one I never saw before. Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor, called Hit. Let me recommend a movie for you also from the 70s, Black Shampoo. Awesome. A lot of freaky stuff in there. You know, me and Pops watched it the other night, kicking back, smoking some cigars. Hell of a movie though, man. But yeah. Other than that, oh, as far as my, my cigar, I think for 2019, probably I didn't get to smoke the new Punch. I'm looking for it desperately. I don't know if it's down here in Florida yet, but I'm desperately trying to find it. But for me, I think the cigar of 2019 might be a shocker. But I would say I had it the other night. Well, I have to make a better list because I'm about to sit down and analyze this. But off the top of my head, um, I like that Rocky Patel San Andreas and that Rocky Patel LB1. Um, and also probably the AJ. It was just it's on the tip of my tongue. I gotta get the name of it. But I'll just say Rocky Patel made a surge in 2019. I don't know who's making the blends now, but they really redid their whole thing, their whole makeup. Cigars tasting a lot better, and I'm impressed again. I was a Rocky man way back in like 2007, 2008 when I first started smoking, and it's been more than 10 years now. But yeah, I'm very impressed with the latest batch. Another good one I had was the Magic Toast by Alec Bradley. All the AJ Fernandez. Also want to make another video about Padron. I think it's time for Padron to do something new. I had a Padron on New Year's, took the 64. It was okay. It was okay. But I think now might be in between outside of Cuba, AJ, and the new Rocky Patels. That's my choices for cigars of the year. Gotta get the exact name, but all the AJs were solid again. And Rocky brought back some new stuff, and there was, a surprise one, that Magic Toast. JFR was another surprise one. But 2019 was a good year of cigars, and looking forward to 2020. I gotta find this new Punch. If you had it, let me know how it is in the comments. Looking for it desperately. Other than that, sign out here. Happy New Year. Peace and love. Hope everybody's had a successful year. I look forward to making some changes this year, getting my branding, get my clothing line back on track, and want to get back into the cigar world. Other than that, though, have a good night. I'm going to enjoy this cigar for the rest of the evening and have something good to drink. But with that said, church, share, subscribe. Follow me at Cigar Society of South Florida on Facebook and Instagram, and Havana 1947 on Instagram and Facebook. With that said, have a good night, church.